At the end of the day, it's just going to be you and me locked in there.
You best believe I'll be trying to knock him out again.
Some fights you want to be clean and get out of there and not feel anything. This fight, I want to feel it all.
What do you believe? Do you think he's going to come in and approach this fight any differently?
Who knows? Who knows? That's the question, right? He's 36 years old, been in many tough fights. He thought he can never be beaten. And then to be sparked like that does have a mental thing on you, you know. I know he pretended like he doesn't care and he was happy he got knocked out because the pressures as champion is too hard, and I'm happy that I got knocked out, but like for me, it doesn't make no sense, you know. And so we saw Saturday night whether or not it makes a difference, but you best believe I'll be trying to knock him out again.
Leon's tough. I give him that, and he was able to land that beautiful kick. I'll give him that, but there's nothing that, I mean, as much as he's building himself up with the new confidence or whatnot, at the end of the day, it's just going to be you and me locked in there. And you and I have been locked in there for two different fights now. And what have you shown me or shown yourself to believe that you are a better fighter?
If you get knocked out like that, he has to find something to clutch onto, right? He needs to build that confidence back up, because going into it, he thought he could never be taken down, he could never be hurt or knocked out, and so I think he has to find something to clutch onto, and that's what he was winning the fight, but who cares? Like I said, it goes down as you getting out cold headshot, you know, and that's all that matters. And when it's all said and done, winners win, you know. And even on my worst day, my worst performance, I'll still knock you out. So winners win, like I say.
I almost feel like he's forgetting what happened 24 minutes in the last fight. Don't you guys feel that? Yeah, of course, it was a beautiful technique and you landed it, which I'm a fan of. I'm like, damn, that was beautiful. Give him props for it, but you're forgetting what happened. What did you display in those two fights that leads you to believe you're a better mixed martial artist than me?
Do you think he's going to be dressed like Terry Crews again?
It's a bit too cold over here to be dressing all weird and all funky, but it is what it is. I heard it like he flew like a stylist over and stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like, our mentality is in two different places. You know, I feel like he's on his way out. You know, and I was gonna open that door for him and give him another path to follow his fashion dreams and follow wherever he wants to go, you know.
I am on my way out. I don't want to get punched in the face forever. That is very, very true. You know, I'm not trying to do this for another 10 years. Absolutely not. In that sense, yeah, I am on my way out, but I'll leave when I'm good, well, and ready. Until then, like the Wolf of Wall Street, you know what he said. I'm not going nowhere.
You said you feel violent going into this one. Just how violent do you feel, and what does that entail?
I felt violent going into 3 fights. I felt violent going into the Sergio Moraes fight because I kept asking for a top 15, and I felt disrespected that the UFC matchmakers kept giving me guys like that weren't in the top 15. I felt very, very violent and resentful, and I wanted to show that. And we saw what happened. I fought Colby Covington the first time. We all know how that buildup was, what he said, what he done, all around the world. I felt very violent, and I wanted to get violent. Me and Colby were best wrestlers, you know, arguably in the company, and we didn't wrestle at all because I felt violent. I wanted to get violent, and we saw how that fight went. And I fought Jorge Masvidal the second time. You know, with all that happened, we both, you know, you guys are failing to understand, we both flew across the world. And I was the only one who I trained for a completely different guy. He caught COVID. And I don't even want to disclose what the injuries that I was going through before that fight. Flew across the world. I actually had to quarantine in Vegas. Didn't sleep. I literally, in 4 days, that fight, I was there, quarantined, cut weight, and I fought. Didn't sleep at all. And I fought in the morning. And I dominated him. And then after that fight, that's when you got all the excuses. Oh, it'd be different. You give me a full camp and this and that. And it upset me to where I felt violent in that second fight. And we all saw what happened. And not to mention, it was in enemy territory in Jacksonville. I was booed. Didn't change anything. And in this fight, I'm starting to get that feeling. You know, some fights you want to be clean and get out of there and not feel anything. This fight, I want to feel it all.
A lot of his strategy in the last fight was a lot of wrestling. But you guys did stand a little bit. What did you make of his striking? Because obviously he had knocked out a lot of guys. So based off of your striking exchanges, what did you think of his striking?
It was alright. It was good. You know, like he does every fight, every boxing, heavy front forward pressure, heavy wrestling. You know, I think his game plan is pretty similar in every fight he fights. You know, but like I said, even on the worst day, he just kind of looks like, even though I was tired, he couldn't hurt me. You know, I wasn't hurt. Really, it's more of a fatigue issue. You just start wailing at my gloves and I was like, just catching it all on my gloves, you know. And but like I said, even my worst day, I defeated him. But like I said, he's improved from when we first fought. But so have I, you know.
And in the first round, you were able to get him down and take his back. So do you look at that and say, why don't I wrestle some more? Or obviously you had that amazing knockout, so do you think you should keep on the feet?
No, I'll make it into a mixed martial arts fight, you know. I will try and go for the takedown. I will be attacking submissions and also try to knock him out, you know. And I know I can do all these things. I've done it in the last fight, and so I'll do more of that.